Welcome everyone to Voice of Adventurers. We are here for you guys. This is going to be the Black Desert PlayStation Voice of Adventurers. But don't worry, it doesn't mean that we're not going to listen to everything you say. My name is Shirna.
My name is Trent.
And yeah, welcome to Voice of Adventurers. If you don't know what Voice of Adventurers is, this is where we kind of just listen to you guys. We talk about what you're talking about. Like, we listen to all of your feedback. We talk about all the good stuff in life, what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, how we can improve, all that kind of stuff.
Yep. So just a little while ago, we had that survey. The survey was designed to be general in nature, right?
Yep.
It was designed to be quantitative as opposed to qualitative. And this VOA, this Voice of Adventures, is meant to dive into those answers, questions as well, and talk about it more in detail and get the qualitative answers out of it. So we have our, oh wow, that's a lot of comments happening all of a sudden. So we have some of our CMs in chat right now, CM Linksy and CM Valterra, who are helping us moderate. Yep. And then we have our GM Costa, who is helping us with the camera this time, right? Hooray!
Someone says never received the survey. We put the survey out through Twitter, Facebook, Discord as well. I believe we put it on Discord.
Yep.
We may not have actually. I think we skipped Discord for that and just put it on Facebook.
It was on the website.
Yeah, and it was also on the website. So we did make it known, but we didn't do it through email.
Yeah.
We did it through Google Forms just because it makes qualitative answers super easy, brings up the tables instantly, which is nice to look at. So yeah, I don't pull the hat off. Someone mentioned we don't pull the hat off. This is where we just mess around a little bit. We were wearing onesies earlier. I'm gonna have to take this off. So I got a big head. I cannot wear hats. It's not even being fat. It's just I've never been able to pull a hat off. Even when I was like, you know, exercising all the time, could not pull a hat off because my head is too big.
Could you wear toques?
Never tried.
Do you call them toques?
Which one's a toque?
It's anything that wraps around your head.
Oh, like a bandana?
No, it's similar to a bandana, but it's closed. You don't tie it. You just put it on your head. But if it has a ball, if it has like a ball thing on it, it's a beanie.
Yeah, like a winter hat, basically.
Yeah.
Right, like beanies. Nah, they don't look good on me. My head's too big.
Yeah, someone there's like a toque is like a beanie.
Okay, all right, cool. Anyway, let's get into it ever so slightly. I feel like I'm back in Scouts, by the way. Like, this was my Scout shirt color when I was a leader.
I feel like we're actually doing a news report with this.
I know, right? You're wearing like your mom's work blazer. I'm wearing a shirt I last fit in about 20 years ago.
Oh man. So before we get into this, right? So this is our PlayStation NA VOA. If you're joining us from Xbox or even from PC, stick around. We'd love to hear your feedback as well to, help make Black Desert a better place for everyone.
Yep.
That being said, this is also going to be Shirna's final stream for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah, when you say final stream, it sounds like I'm just bouncing. I'm just gone. No, it's gonna be. We're gonna have to take a 2-week break. I am traveling back to the UK. We mentioned this in the last stream.
Yep.
So this is gonna be the last stream. The last time I'm around for at least 2 weeks because I am not. As much as I love you guys, I'm gonna actually spend time with my dad. I'm gonna spend time with my new niece. I got a really young niece. So I'm going to spend time with my family a lot. Anyway, right. Should we get into it? Should we just bounce everything else off and get into... Oh, wait, we haven't really... Did we describe how it goes?
So let me explain the format of this. So we're going to go through each of the topics of the survey and go over the answers and then ask you guys for your feedback. People in our chat, the mods, are collecting all the data. So even if we don't directly respond to you, it's being collected. And... just to give some feedback or some, insight on the last couple of...
I just saw my face on that.
Okay. Get some insight on the last couple of VOAs. The first VOA we did for Xbox was maybe in May? April or May-ish. And a lot of the things where users were talking about, like certain bugs or issues, we knocked a lot of them out in the coming updates after that. So this feedback does go to the devs. It's not to say that any of the other feedback hasn't gone to devs, but this way we can get qualitative answers. So if we ask you guys, for example, what kind of content do you want to see, and someone says raid, give me more detail. What kind of raid? How many people do you want this to be, like a party or is it a solo raid? And things like that. And that way, when we take it to the devs, it's not going to be like, hey, users want raids. Oh, okay, cool. So, like, what kind of raids? Don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So this way we get qualitative answers, and it'll be good. We will be talking about invisible walls a little bit later, because that's part of what's going to happen today. So let's dive into the first topic. Costa?
Are you awake? He's he's got a finger up.
There it is.
All right, he got a finger up. It wasn't the finger people probably thought. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is take a little bit of a dive down into the PvP versus PvE content. Now, Black Desert is legitimately an open world I don't want to use sandbox because people hate it here, but it's an open world MMO where PvP exists, and it is kind of one of the bigger things in the game. I think if we did the same questions for PC, we would get very different answers.
Absolutely.
But for us, for PlayStation especially, it kind of mirrored what we saw in Xbox, where a very large percentage of people do like the PvE side of things. So it was 79.6% like PvE and 20.4% like PvP. Now this doesn't mean we're gonna do a 180 and turn Black Desert into a PvE only game.
Right.
What this means is two things. It means we need to work on PvE, make it so that people who enjoy it more.
Yeah.
And still, you know.
How to better improve this for people.
Yeah.
Right?
And then PvP, we need to think of, like, we have to look at ways that we can improve it to make it more enjoyable so that maybe that number creeps up to about what we thought, which was 60-40.
Yeah.
So we're going to look at that kind of stuff today. We're going to just quickly talk about it. Well, I said quickly.
Yeah.
This is Voice of Adventurers. We'll probably get stuck on one thing and then...
This is going to take some time, guys.
Talk about an hour with it. So yeah, PvE versus PvP. It was 2080 basically.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we want to get ideas to improve PvP, how we can make it more enjoyable, how we can, you know, get people in. But we will start with the bigger side of things. We will start with the PvE.
Yeah. Wait, PvP scores higher than PvE? No, PvE was higher. So
PvE was 80%.
Yeah, PvE 80%, PvP 20%. This is amongst the English respondents for PS4. But similar trends were there for French, German, Korean, and Japanese.
I think, if I remember correctly...
Japanese was heavily scaled to PvE.
Yeah.
It was like 90 to 10.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, when you balance it out, it ends up like still roughly 80-20 when you include everyone else's responses. The only one was Japanese, which was 90, I think it was 94%.
Okay.
It was a ridiculous
94
chart. It was like 94.
Oh, I thought it was just the 90s. Okay. Just like 91, 92.
So anyway,
diving into PvE.
What is it you enjoy most about PvE, and how could we improve on that? So I'm going to ask both questions at the same time because this generally just happens anyway. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about PvE. What is it you enjoy most about PvE? So can we have answers in the chat, and we'll talk about things that you will do.
Also,
Berserker Crow.
Yeah, first official BDO stream.
Welcome,
man.
You're in for a treat. Today you don't get to see gameplay, so it's wonderful for us.
Wonderful for you.
Wonderful for you. Yeah, you don't have to put up with it.
For PvE content, when we did the EU VOA a few hours ago, one of the things that came up was crafting. People enjoy crafting because it gives them a sense of, like, I guess like a sense of accomplishment. It sounds more grandiose than it was, but they enjoyed making something. And I want to know more from the NA folk. What kind of stuff do you like?
So someone said Pve servers when. So I want to touch on this because it is something we've brought up. There was a very notorious user, I would say, for Xbox who used to keep going on about Pve servers. We did end up talking about it with the developers, and they were like, it's probably not going to ever happen.
Yeah.
It does break the risk-reward kind of things. Like,
yeah.
The reason why things like in Black Desert are scaled the way they are, the reason why the top end grind spots are top end is because that gives you the most stuff. If you add a PvE server, it kind of removes the competition aspect between the two players. So like fighting over the grind spot is important. So yeah, they weren't comfortable with it. We've talked a little bit about it. They just kind of eventually said it's 90%, 98% not going to happen. So yeah.
Sorry.
Combat, the skills, classes, enemies, everything about PvE is enemy. I kind of like that. It's hard for us to report on that though.
Yeah.
Because like the combat, the skills, the classes, enemies, everything PvP is pretty amazing. It's something that like we can take and just say to the devs like, yo, good work on the PvE. It doesn't allow us to make it better. I'm not calling you out or anything. I'm just saying like, it doesn't make us do anything better.
Sorry guys, give me 1 sec.
I'll explain what's going on. So there's basically a thing right now. Black Desert Mobile have put out a thing for EN to sign up for the pre-registration thing. So we're just gonna troll them a little bit. They are
I need an "It's Happening" gif, right?
Yeah, just type "It's Happening" and then just say like, when. Yeah.
This one?
Yeah,
or do we go with Kofi? Do you know Kofi?
I don't know Kofi.
Kofi's beautiful. All right.
Go for Kofi. Go for Kofi. Yeah.
All right,
Add. Click the add button.
There it is.
And then global when. So yeah, sorry, we had to do that. It's something that we wanted to do. If you wanted to follow it, it's Black Desert M_EN on Twitter. They're really nice guys. They are some of the coolest. I've worked with one of them in my previous company too.
Yeah.
Like one of the guys there. Wonderful guy. Anyway, back into PlayStation 4, which is mostly important. Okay. The grind. See, that's something that's really weird to me. Not weird to me, but like the grind. You see things where like the grind is unreal. Like, why would you play this game? It's too grindy. And then you see other people who are like, the grind is what makes it the best. So it's really interesting that like some people really enjoy the grind. I'm one of those people. I enjoy the grind, and I find little wins everywhere. I look at silver as my progression. And when I buy something new and it goes out, I'm like, all right, I just got a Crescent Ring that I bought from the market because I'm no confidence in my enhancing abilities.
I should retweet with.
So you know, you should have retweet it anyway.
Retweet my thing?
Yeah, no, retweet their thing.
Yeah.
Just retweet it. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, it's really interesting for us, like that.
Yeah.
People enjoy the grind.
For me, okay, so I'll say from my end as well. For me, you and I are kind of different players on this, where you enjoy the fishing aspect and life skilling and stuff like that. For me, I like the grind, not so that I can be top tier, but I just like combat.
Yeah.
Right? I love combat in general. So for me, I enjoy making my money through drops and then selling on the central market and going from there.
And riding your horse in a wagon for hours and hours and hours on end and getting it killed 9 times so you end up with no silver. Okay. So yeah, like, grind is a dopamine high. Yeah, for me, grinding can send me to sleep. Like, I can get into a routine. I've done Gahas for so long that I can kind of do it while I'm falling asleep, and I've fallen asleep in the chair while playing Gahas.
Yeah.
And I come back, and like I'm dead. But you know, it's that kind of stuff. I really like that kind of stuff. Better quest markers, yeah, sure. Like that's something we can talk about. I enjoy leveling speed, combat, game world. Don't enjoy not enough mob diversity in terms of mechanics. Oh, actually, I really like that. Not enough mob diversity in terms of mechanics. Okay. Where's my... Oh, I restarted my computer. So, yeah. Not enough mob variety in terms of mechanics is actually a really interesting point. Not enough diversity in mechanics. Not enough group content. We talk about that a little bit later as well, but I like the idea. Desync, unfortunately. Ash Forest, when... Secret Stars and Miramok are getting old. DC player here. Unfortunately, like we cannot say anything about when things are coming for PC because we legitimately do not know. Although we talk to them, we don't poke them for things. We're kind of not PC players.
Yeah.
I've played a little bit.
I haven't.
And like, you know, it's hard for me to just go, oh, when's this coming? Because, I mean, I do read all your stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah. Mini dungeons, like, okay, so we talked about this before. We talked about this with EU. When you say dungeons, what kind of dungeons are we looking at? So there are the story-based dungeons, there are the PvE-based dungeons, but from my experience, a lot of dungeons are one and done.
Okay.
You complete it once, you complete it twice, you get what rewards you need, and then you just cut.
Mm-hmm.
So like, has anything kind of like, has there ever been anything that's kind of pushed you and made you do dungeons like constantly? Like, is it the rewards, is it the fun, the story? Like, story you tend to do once.
I think for me, if there was a dungeon, it'd be because it's party content.
Yeah.
Right? I think if I just soloed a dungeon, it wouldn't... This sounds weird, but...
It's not a dungeon.
Yeah, that's the best way to say it. In Black Desert, for me, when I'm, like, grinding at, like, Helms or whatever, I can feel how big the world is. And I think if I soloed a closed-off instance, it would feel small.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously we can make that a huge dungeon as well, but that runs its own problems. So I think for me, I'd rather stay for the party content.
Someone said it looks like I didn't sleep enough last night. Just want to point out, 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Quality sleep. But we'll be able to do it later. I'm sleeping after this. It's going to be a good night. Okay, so someone put 24 to 32 man raids with puzzles and mobs and a big final boss for special drops from a boss once a week. Okay, I like the idea of puzzles. We talked about this earlier. Dungeons and Dragons especially. I like those kind of puzzles. And we were talking about like elemental stones, for example. So like on one stone you have to use fire, water, ice, or something like that. But then you'd only have witches. So then, you know, it'd be good if we could do something like that. I really like that idea of puzzle-based.
Okay.
Puzzle-based.
How would you... So while you guys are still sending in responses, how would you incorporate a class like, let's say, the Lawn? Oh, actually, no, Lawn would be easy. Just nimble stride across something,
right? And then she pushes a button or something on the other end.
What about Zerk?
Zerk has, in his awakening, he has, what you call it, the jump.
Black Desert Mobile just retweeted my thing and just respond, because I responded with like global when, hashtag global when. They responded with hashtag soon. They took our word.
It's ridiculous. What a giant leap. That's what I was looking for. So Zerka has giant leap, but you could do like CCs. For example, if you put like a knockdown effect on one of the things, or you have to grab the lever and like Undertaker it, things like that would be really cool.
Yeah.
I actually think that'd be amazing. Amazing. Okay, someone put frame rate needs fixing. We know we get to that later in this path that we're taking. We are taking it through the survey that was released 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So we will be getting to performance and things like that. Don't worry, we will be coming. Hotspot fishing. All right, hotspot fishing. I know. It's actually, I'm not sure when it'll come. It will be coming soon.
Yeah.
Hashtag soon. It will be coming, you know, in the future. Maybe right now it's just not ready for Imperial trading and hotspot fishing. Like I think they come together. No. Yeah, I think they come together. I will talk to them about hotspot fishing because hotspot fishing is one of my favorite things. Legitimately, I love hotspot fishing.
Yeah, you're all about that life, aren't you?
Yeah. So one of our Altanova is a legendary fisher. Has never been hotspot fishing. Never. So I was like, all right, jump on the boat. Let's go fish. And then she was like, oh, I've made like 18 million silver. I'm like, yeah, that's hotspot fishing. She's like, why have I never done this before? I don't know. Why have you never done it before? Oh, we didn't change the title of the thing. We're sorry. We didn't change the title of the stream. I can change it right now.
What?
I think I'm logged.
It says it.
Oh yeah, it does say it. Okay. This is the only so why it says EU. Maybe it's because you were still logged in. I don't know. Okay. Dungeons or mini dungeons. Take maps or place 3 separate rooms. Random mobs and then a boss. So something like we are introducing, or for PC we did introduce Altar of Blood. We want to bring that to console. Those are the things that we want to do, right? We want to bring that to console. We want to bring it to PlayStation and Xbox. And for us, the feedback we get, feedback is one of those things where if it's just negative, you can kill something before it fully develops. If you're like, oh, this is the worst content ever created, you can kill something really early where, you know, that was the start of a turn.
Right.
So if we release it and people are like, this sucks, like, this is the worst content ever created, it's gonna push it's gonna push people away from developing that in the future. It sounds kind of like weak-willed, but it can have that effect.
Right.
What is better is like, okay, I don't like the implementation, but I did like this part, and this part. I like the idea of instance raids, instance towers. I like the idea of party content. I didn't like the way Altar of Blood was implemented. Boom. That's really good feedback. If you have something like that, that's really good feedback. If like hotspot fishing comes out and you're like, oh, you know, I really enjoy the extra fish, the extra golds, but there needs to be more positioning. Like the sea between Velia and Valencia is empty. Good. You talked about like what you like about it. You talked about what you don't like about it. It helps us like push that feedback to the devs in a way where it's not us basically beating down on them.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds.
Because the thing with, because I know there's gonna be some negative responses to this part.
Yeah.
Where it's like, in any profession that you're in, this is life advice for someone who worked at a bunch of different jobs. Any profession that you're in, the way that you communicate to somebody is very important. It's not about just like, dude, if you can't handle like honesty, then you shouldn't be in this profession kind of thing. It's more like, well, we want this game to get better. The devs want this game to get better. How do we do this so that we're not jaded with one another? So if we just come into them and go, fix this, it gets repetitive, and you start to tune that out because there's like, they keep telling me to fix it. They don't know what they want. Like, we don't know what they want. Which way do we go? And just to help out with that, and just to be human, I like that there's a lot of people right now giving a lot of feedback in the chat, like tower-based swarm modes, and
it's going back and forth too.
Yeah, the 100 floor mode. Have you played Devil May Cry?
Yeah.
Do you know what Bloody Palace is?
Yeah.
Like that kind of style. I think
that's kind of Altar of Blood, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of Altar of Blood. Okay. So if we don't talk about your idea, it's not being ignored. We're going to put this out one more time. It's not being ignored. It is being, like, we're siphoning out the information. We can only talk about one or two things in general at the same time.
Yeah.
Two things is kind of weird when we talk about two different things at the same time.
Yeah.
But, you know, we generally talk about that kind of stuff. Node War invincibility. Make sure that you hit the participation button and then press, I think you have to press assemble. I can't remember. But it's one of those, I don't do Node Wars generally because my guild is kind of not that way inclined. But yeah. Okay, I did see something and I stopped and I can't read it. Okay, someone said fix central market so it's more supply and demand. And this comes up actually quite a lot, is like, how can you say that it's a player-driven marketplace when there are caps? So the reason why there are low and high caps on items. Oh, okay. I just got it. So you go to the guild, your guild menu, Node War, choose your own name, and then click participate. That's how you do it. So anyway, what was I saying? What was I talking about? Oh, the central marketplace. So the central marketplace works. It does work on supply and demand, but there is an upper limit and a lower limit. The reason for this is because as the game progresses, markets inflate because there's more silver. So what may cost 20 million silver now, if we didn't have caps, could cost 200 million in a year. And the issue with that is new players will come be priced out of essential items because everyone else has more silver to throw around. People ask for more silver, and that's an issue. So what we did, or what the developers have done, is added like market limits, market caps, which is basically how the free world markets work.
Right.
Except medicine. You know, that's ridiculous. But like they set an upper and lower limit so that people can afford it at any point in the game. And we do raise it occasionally. We push it up. We look at how it's working. Oh, this still sells out really quickly. Let's bump it up a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's why that happens. It's something, something important. Fixed field of view on PlayStation, but you say that it ruins PvP, but everyone has the same thing. This is, yeah.
But wait, so
someone said fixed field of view on PS4 being zoomed in that much ruins PvP. That will come in next.
To be straight from this?
No. We're still talking about PvE. Central market kind of PvE content.
Yeah.
Australia needs to be an NA. I 100% agree. We're still looking at the technicalities of moving you. It is going to be technical. We mentioned when we talked about it first, it's not going to be a quick move. It's way more technical than people imagine.
Yeah. So I just want to get back to this. Eastside Fort, Black Spirit Rage Mode. Make everyone same level, no gear differences. Battle Royale.
That's PvP.
Yeah, we're going to get to that later.
In a sec, actually. In a sec. Like, come on, man. Don't start spamming optimization when we've already... we've said, if you just joined us, I'm sorry for this. But we said, we will talk about that when we get to topic 3. We will talk about optimization and how we can do it. So, yeah. We will be talking about optimization and performance. We know it's an issue. That's what we're going to talk about later. It's not that we're ignoring it now. We just want to get through some of the other things while we're fresh. Because optimization has one of those things where it bumps us back up because it sends adrenaline through my soul.
Whoa, Peace and Chaos. Ultima is cool. They can make a dungeon that's similar to it if they implement certain mechanics that require a high DP to be the healer and stuff like that. Right?
I think that's what they were going for.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. That's detailed. I do like the... So, I've seen you go back and forth about this. It's true hack and slash. Hack and slash is good. I, for one, enjoy the hack and slash portion of it.
Yeah.
Because you've seen us on stream. It's not easy to play Ninja, right? It's not easy to play LAN. Hack and slash is a catch-all term. And to be good at it, you can see some really good players. And I want to get to that level. You can pull some really cool combos.
Someone said the Black Desert Plus app is dead. I'm still logged in.
No, so I know about the Black Desert Plus issue. Someone was saying, on our side, I took a look into it. If you're having issues with logging in, because sometimes they'll say fail to log in after you input all your credentials and stuff, you may need to delete the cache from the app data.
Yeah, okay.
For it to work again. But it is something that we know. It was in the bug reports, so yeah.
Yeah, clear cache data and then you can log back in. Okay. The Ninja is amazing, and the Ninja is hard.
The Ninja is very difficult. It's amazing, but difficult. LAN is too easy. I think it's easy to play. It's difficult to be good.
Yes.
Right? I agree with you that it's easy, but difficult to be good.
What's the deal with HR if you're looking forward? Everything looks so dark. It's the way the lighting engine works. If you stare into the sun, everything else becomes dark because you go blind. Right?
Yeah.
That's how it works. There is HDR settings on Xbox. I don't know if they've made their way to PlayStation yet. We'll take a look and consider that in the future. What are you gonna? Okay, all right. So I just want higher sensitivity. This is actually something that's come up, and this will transition us into the PvP section. Is the camera itself can move quickly. It has acceleration on it. If you know mouse acceleration, it's basically it slows and then builds up speed and then reaches max speed. We've talked to the developers about this, and we've brought it up. We've been like, okay, you know, this is something we have to do. We have to consider it. Like, we want to improve that as well, like the camera spinniness, and make it so that it doesn't accel, so that you can do those badass combos with Sork. I know that when people talk about Kunoichi, I think it's ankle cutter is ridiculous. Like, I was showed like the video and how to do it. It is, you can make this skill. So the skill makes like a triangle, like an arc.
Okay.
But you can move the camera in a way where you can do it in a straight-ish line.
You showed me that video. The guy was just doing it, and then he would switch his camera and keep going straight.
Yeah. So we know that's important because that's legitimately one of the cool things about that class, especially. So we're going to be talking about it again, bringing it up. It is important to us to kind of get that done, and that will help the speed of the camera turning around as well. So it's important to us to get that done. So yeah, as we moved into PvP, Red Battlefield. Can we get a Red Battlefield event so that people get incentivized to try it?
Before we go on, someone said this. I 100% agree with this. Maybe you have a different opinion. Yeah. Access to inventory while you're running. Like, to do stuff with the inventory. Or skills.
Skills I believe in.
Yeah.
Inventory you can do. You can't change your equipment while running.
Certain things, yeah.
Have you ever tried to put your trousers on while taking a step?
I have.
You fall over.
Yes, I have.
It's hard. But yeah, you know, we'll look at that actually. We'll look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, what'd you do?
I 100% agree with that. On to the PvP content stuff?
Yeah. That's what we're talking about.
So 20% have said that they favor the PvP content, but this also means that, like, it's not so much as like, all right, let's remove PvP content. We want to try and improve the PvP content that's there. So give us some ideas on what you don't like about PvP and how we can improve that side of things, right?
Yeah.
So I already see some, and we've talked about this a lot, where...
Red Battlefield improvement.
Oh, that worked. App works again. Thank you. Sweet, right? Delete the cache from the app data, and it should work again.
Yeah, if you ever have an issue with an app on your Android device, clear cache data works every time to fix it. I know this. We all know this. iPhone doesn't have that feature, or it does, but it's so hard to find. So, like, you know, it exists. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
Red Battlefield, we've talked about modes.
Yeah.
Like Capture the Flag, Oddball, if you ever
new
played
maps
Halo,
for
new
it.
Maps, rewards for it.
Yeah.
As for the Red Battlefield event, the problem when you do a Red Battlefield event, so we had this with Xbox recently, is that people go to Red Battlefield, they'll do the event, and then never go back.
Right.
So, like, the goal isn't just for short-term, like, buffing of Red Battlefield. The goal is to make Red Battlefield a mode where you feel like you want to go play it more often. So, yeah, that's something that we do look at, the Red Battlefield stuff. Someone said Shadow Arena. No idea what's happening with that right now.
That's not something that we're heavily involved with. There was one that I saw. PvP shouldn't be forced. Right? And this is a common sentiment that I've seen quite a bit, where PvP shouldn't be forced. People keep taking me out. People keep killing me randomly. There's a few things with that, right? And I'm one of these people.
You're a pacifist troll, basically.
I don't like the word troll. it implies height. I'm very sensitive about it. No, so for me, if I'm grinding in an area and I'm in someone else's area, for the most part, if not... Actually, no, I haven't had this happen to me. I haven't been straight up killed. They will tell me, like, you're in my rotation, right? Go the other way, or, like...
Get out of
here.
You know,
just get out or go to a different channel. And different servers, sorry. And there's a lot of different servers to choose from for NA, right? Not... Especially depending on where you are. Like, right now, there's a bunch of people grinding near Helms and, like, Gahas and stuff, because super competitive. And you don't want your grind spot to be taken. Now, for the most part, when I've left, nobody's chased me, nobody's done whatever, right? I, however, talk trash, right? I was like, oh, make me leave. Oh, what you gonna do, right? And then I see them flag up, and then I see it's like Zez or Bob, and I'm just like, this was a mistake. This was a horrible mistake, and I'll switch out.
I am a bit of a troll too. It's weird that like we're community managers, we're so nice to everyone. As soon as we get home, we're like, you're the worst. What are you doing? We're not as toxic as we can be.
Yeah.
We're pretty toxic to each other. Hold on. Flag cooldown timer.
The whole don't level past 49 if you don't want to PvP. If you don't want to run the risk of getting like killed in PvP. However, I haven't seen as many people get killed over and over again unless A, the person who's killing you is toxic, or B, you're toxic. Right?
Yeah.
And for the most part, it's been the second, right? That when we look through chat and stuff.
It's like, oh, I got nothing but PvP. Like everyone just comes hunts me down. We check your chat logs. It's like you've been saying some nasty things in chat. You kind of deserve it.
Yeah, I know about Bob. Then there's also people, much like Dark Dragon, who you ask to kill the PKers who are hurting grinders. There are legitimate people, right, on the NA server where it's just like, hey man, I'm trying to grind here, but this guy keeps killing me. You will find people start whispering you to go and attack that person. I have called a hit on somebody before. They were all wiped out by Zez. I made a horrible mistake.
You didn't think about that, like?
No, because I didn't know that it was Zez, right? Like I just didn't read the name. I was like, man, this guy like keeps coming up in my spot, and people came. They all got wiped. It was pretty bad. But let's go into some of the ideas that are here.
Any other PvP? So people say improve the rewards of Red Battlefield, but improving the rewards doesn't make a non-fun mode more fun. It just makes it more frustrating. If that makes sense. Like it makes it more frustrating because you have to do it for the rewards, but you're not getting good stuff, right? So, you know, I get that.
Bounty system.
Bounty system I like the idea of.
I like the idea of, but it does require some tinkering with it. Like you have to shop the idea a bit. But the bounty system, yes. I feel like if anyone ever found on my personal account, there would be a lot of bounties on my head. Yeah. For no reason. Like I can't take your grind spots. You've seen my APDP. I can't.
You hit like you're hitting them with a piece of fish.
Yeah.
Not even a big fish. It's just like you're hitting them with anchovies. Like, come here, you! Someone said fix world boss area to make it so that no one can PvP. I think that's how it works, no? It's a non-PvP zone for a little bit.
GM Costa, can you do PvP in a world boss area?
No, right? It's disabled.
Because we did that, didn't we? We
need
need to double check that.
I'm 99% sure it's disabled anyway, unless they're talking about the time where you wait for it while it's still active.
Yeah.
Yeah. So okay, we'll consider that.
Continue. You have
to have a negative karma to put a bounty on someone. No, you have to have positive karma to put.
To put the bounty on someone, but you can't put a bounty on someone who's positive.
Yeah, that sounds fair. That sounds fair. But then that's punishing negative karma players a little bit more.
Yeah.
Unless, you know, the more people they kill, the bounty goes up, and they can, like, cash out and do, like, 2 days in jail.
Okay, yeah. Do you want to talk about...
What am I talking about?
The opposite of Redemption Day?
So PvP in... I will talk about that.
Okay.
PvP in World Boss is enabled.
Is enabled.
We need to
okay.
check that, 'cause it shouldn't.
Wait. But right above that, yes, it's disabled. It re-enabled once the boss is dead. But isn't there a timer for that?
I think it runs for an extra minute or two after. So maybe it is that, like...
Yeah, it's that time frame there.
There needs to be slightly more grace period. Okay. We'll take a look at that. It's something that we know.
Yeah.
But yeah. Okay. Making so people in Red Battlefield have the same gear. Normalized gear scores is something that I am very big into when it comes to PvP. For me, if you want a PvP mode that's competitive, it should be equalized. But what you can do then is, if you don't want to touch class balance, because, PvE, this class is more PvE focused, this class is more PvP focused. We've talked about this. You could then, like, instead of bringing down the class's kit altogether and boosting it only in PvP, you could just change the armor levels and the gear levels so that they have lower AP
to balance that.
To balance it out. So we've talked about this. It's something that we've brought up. It's something that, generally we get ears when we talk about it. Like, if we bring it up with the devs, they're generally like, yeah, that sounds great, but, it's difficult to implement is something that we've heard a bit. So we'll take it to them again. We know that it's important. We know that it's important. So, yeah we get it.
Someone put out a good idea. Good in that I like it. The people that go to jail, have them do like a battle arena in the jail, and the winner gets to get out early.
Like a fight club?
Yeah.
A jailer fight club.
But then, like, so what? But you can't have a weapon.
So it'd be punching. You get shivs.
Jailer fight club? I like
Jailer
that.
fight club.
I
You get
really
shivs and stuff, like, you have to choose which guy you want to go with, and they give you different shivs. And you can just shiv someone, and then when you get out, you can just throw it away, because if you get caught with it, you go to super jail.
What's super jail?
It's where, like, you're in there for, like, a year in real time. It just deletes your character. I don't know. It's...
We need to shop this idea a little bit.
Yeah. So this is why we do this, because we can take your idea, as ridiculous as some, like, we've seen some ridiculous ideas, but we can take that and go, you know what, we really like this part, and then we can pull that out, develop it again, and then we present both. Like, we know this is crazy, but what if we did this? And they go, ooh. But what if we did it like this? And they go, ooh, all right.
Yeah.
So that's how these kind of things work.
So when you guys give us feedback and events and ideas and stuff like this, it may not necessarily come out in the way that you yourself have envisioned it, but what wasn't used can be used for something else. And we generally do like track these things down, and it's awesome for it. My God, this. Yeah, Jail Club sounds interesting.
Someone said it's nice to see how people want to change one PvP game to PvE. It's not about change. It's about, like, improving PvE and improving PvP.
Because you guys know this too, right? Black Desert's a huge world. There's room for both, right? Like, it's such a huge world. There is definitely room for both things.
5v5 PvE content, so like PvPvE, right?
Yeah.
You know what it means?
Yeah.
Like Dota style. I like the idea. It's interesting. I do like objectives in PvP, like go take out this boss for a buff. So yeah, it's something we can definitely do.
Right.
If it was like that though, I prefer 5v5v5v5.
Ooh.
Like, make it so that it's 20-man team, 4 teams of 5 people. And you have, like, a bigger map, more objectives to do.
Yeah.
And, like, there may even be a way that you could... Have you played, is it called Killer Queen? Have you heard about this game, Killer Queen?
Haven't.
So Killer Queen is a game where it's like a fighting game.
Yeah.
But it's also like a 2D MOBA game. There are 3 different ways to win.
Yeah.
One is become the queen bee.
Okay.
One is to complete the beehive.
Okay.
And the other is to race a snail from the start to the end. And the snail is super slow.
Okay.
So you have like 3 different ways of winning.
Yeah.
But each way has its own strategy.
And has its own merit. Okay.
And has its own merit. And there is a way to win on each one. It's not like one is intrinsically stronger than the other.
Right.
So it's like it's rock, paper, scissors, bomb, basically.
So when you're saying like the 5v5 thing, all of a sudden have you ever read the book called The Outsiders?
No.
Right. So there's... I wonder if anyone in chat has read The Outsiders. Oh, it definitely shows my age. It's basically like the rich people, the socias, versus the people from the ghettos, the greasers, and they do like the snappy thing.
Oh my god. Oh no.
Ponyboy! Yes! There's a person named Ponyboy, Dallas. Seen the movie. Tom Cruise is in the movie. A very, very young Tom Cruise.
All right. Stay gold, Ponyboy.
That's an actual
Is that
line.
where that comes from?
Yeah! The Outsiders.
I've never watched the movie, but I know the phrase like "Stay Gold Pony Boy."
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna go home and watch this.
It's amazing.
All right.
Soda pop. You can tell that they're the greasers. Yeah. Anyways, so
let's back to PvP. All right.
Yeah.
Let's stop talking about Outsiders. Free to play battle arena that the area. All right.
Make it so that when you kind of.
You know when someone writes something and you start reading it
Yeah.
and you realize halfway through they're kind of trolling you.
Yeah.
Could we get a free for all battle arena that the area minimizes over time without speed hackers? I know you play PC. I can tell. Yeah, I know. Let's just say we know.
Ooh.
It's something that we can look into.
I like Ice Healer's suggestion. You guys should make it so that when you kill somebody from another guild, right? For that in your war, where that pops over. I don't know about it being in war, but if you kill somebody from, like, if I kill somebody from your guild, you get a notification in your whatever guild system that this person's been killed by this person.
It does say that, right?
It does,
It
right?
does say like X was slain by Y.
What about in war though? Pops across the guild screen.
I think like it should stand out more
Yeah.
and say who killed who. Like
Yeah.
you could have a battle log.
Yeah.
Would be pretty cool. I actually want to see like Guild Wars improved upon in general.
Yeah. Server wars is interesting too, but yeah.
Server wars would be great if people weren't able to just switch servers regardless. I would like to see region wars.
Region wars would be cool.
Yeah. Oh, actually I kind of want to talk about this on the Asia server.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So the Asia servers Node War scene is it's similar to everyone else's. It's active, people are doing it.
Yeah.
But it has turned into like Korea versus Japan versus like Chinese speakers.
Yeah.
And
there's a subsection of Southeast Asians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like there's all these different regions fighting each other. It's like we're Korean, this is our game, get out. And then it's like the Japanese, like, we'll wipe the floor with you. And then there's the Chinese people who are just there. And it is so interesting to watch how that has built up. And that's like, I would like to see something for region-based.
Yeah.
NA versus EU versus Asia.
And for the most part, everyone's quite civil about it after the war.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Everyone is super nice. Everyone is super like, oh man, I'm sorry I just slain you like 35 times. And took your guild out to pasture. Good fight.
Sorry. One thing that we forgot to mention, and GM Costa, thank you for reminding us. The number of people that you need online to participate in a node war has decreased from 10 to 5.
Yeah, and this actually had a very positive effect in the ones that we've seen so far, in that there was more activation. More people were trying it out because they could get 5 people online, but getting 10 people online before the start of a node war may be a bit difficult.
Right.
So we've reduced it to 5. This change will probably come to Xbox as well.
Yep.
Not sure about PC. I think PC will be fine though. But yeah, it's kind of so cool. It's like, for example, GM Costa's guild, he wanted to make sure that we talk about this. His guild actually finally won a node war.
Yeah.
And he also got Beg's gloves in a normal
summon scroll.
A normal summon scroll. It wasn't even his, it was just the reward.
Yeah.
He got the reward bundle and got the Beg's gloves.
GM Costa
we're not talking to him anymore.
GM Costa basically was in a party, and GM Costa was like, hey man, like I gotta bounce for a bit. Can you just like hit the boss once with my controller? I'll be back. Let's do the party scroll together. Party member's like, yeah, cool, let's do it. Did it? Party member got nothing but did all the work. GM Costa did one hit that wasn't even him, and got the gloves.
Yep. I actually want to see if we can get smaller nodes, like in node wars in general, like a smaller node, like one node per day, where it's 5 people.
Yep.
Now that we've lowered it to 5, maybe we could have like what we could call like a tier 0 node.
Tier 0?
So you have tier 1, 2, 3, right?
Okay.
4. So basically like a tier 0 would be 5 people. The rewards are good, but not better than obviously the other tiers.
Tier K? Kindergarten?
Oh, tier K would be good. But like introduce like a small 5-man node war.
Yeah.
that you could do. I really like the idea of that, actually.
Yeah.
Like the small node wars. So that would help smaller guilds get a foot in the door.
Yeah.
It helps them get another way to get silver that's not just doing guild missions. And yeah, I really like that idea.
Yeah.
It would be great if node wars worked.
Mm.
Node wars are working. You have to hit the participation button
That being said,
and assemble.
we are
looking into it. We're not just dismissing it. Sorry, we're not dismissing it. We understand there may be an issue, so we are looking into it. But from what we've tested and what we've seen, it is just hit the participation button in the guild early. And make sure that you do it every time you're going to do the node wars. Make sure you hit that button. The ticks do not mean that you press participate. Ticks mean you have a contract.
Yeah.
Make sure you hit participate.
Right. I think let's move on to the next part.
If you get assembled, you should be in.
Yeah.
So if it's still not working there, we need to talk. We need to, like, we've already talked to the devs about it.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about it some more.
Yep. Okay. In the meantime, if we haven't gotten to your PvP suggestions or comments and stuff like that, it's all being taken down. Thank you so much for it. What? From your own name and guild menu after node war. Oh, so if you participated in a node war, you have to receive the Shining Medal of Honor from the guild menu, right?
Yeah.
From your own name. So you highlight your own name, you get the Shining Medal of Honor from the guild menu to be able to participate in the next node war. If you haven't collected that medal, you're not going to be able to participate in the next node war.
Okay. So.
Alex, right?
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna after this we'll go report it again. That some people are saying like they're not getting it. It's just not happening. It's not working. We'll go report it.
Yep.
Okay.
That being said, Jim Costa, let's get the next thing ready. We are gonna move on. If you haven't, you guys can still like set suggestions about PvP, PvE stuff. But in the meantime, we are moving on to our next question, GM Costa. What content would you like to see expanded on? So before you guys start, on the survey, there was a question that said, what content would you like to see expanded on? The options were more things to feel the world, or more things to make the world feel alive, more classes, PvE content, guild party content, and PvP content.
Yep. So unlike Xbox, the winner of this one was more classes at 47.8. Then it was PvE content at 29. More things to make the world feel alive had 11%. Guild party content had 8%, and PvP content had 4.2. Now we know that there's overlap with some of these, and that, like, you know, if you want guild and party content, that's just what you want.
Yeah.
But you could also want that in the PvE way. You can want that in the PvP way. So we understand that it's not the perfect question.
Just like Marasias13 has said, all of the above. Yeah, this is more like, I guess, where it ranks on your priority list.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily mean it's not on your list, it's just priority.
Yep. Okay. All right, so
more classes.
More classes.
What can we talk about here?
All right, so 2 classes we just released, Ninja and Lon.
Yep.
They were the most popular in that survey.
Yep.
Because we only did the classes that we can release, I think would be like, you know, what we put in there. And we are going to be taking that feedback, thinking about when we can put those characters in a place where it makes sense. So putting in Shy before, you know, Camasylvia, before things get difficult, is an interesting decision. Putting it into early, like Shy is quite weak.
Yeah.
So it's an interesting decision. Putting in someone like Striker early, we learned our lesson from Xbox. You put Striker in too early, it becomes ook mode, and you just have like Striker monkeys going around just like waving their arms and things dying.
Yeah.
So we get it. We know how that works.
That being said, that trailer that had the Striker in it, we really apologize for that.
Yeah. We picked it up.
Yeah.
We were told there's no time.
I was upset about that.
Yeah.
Right? Love how those of us that missed the coupon are just being passed over. What coupon? It hasn't come out.
We haven't put the coupon up yet.
Yeah. So with more classes, right? I understand that there are people who come from PC. There are also people who come from Xbox, and then there are people who have never played any of them.
Yeah.
Right? All of them, all of these groups of people and whatever, have their own I guess, view of how the classes are going to come and how they think they're going to come. So when PC launched, I believe Awakening was staggered, right?
Yep.
Awakening was staggered per classes. When Xbox came, we thought, okay, well, when we launch Awakening, all the classes that are in the game should get Awakening. It shouldn't be staggered.
Yeah.
Right? Now, the issue with, not issue, but one of the things that we learned was Striker was way too powerful. Striker was originally released as a counter.
Yeah, to
right?
Awakening.
To Awakening classes and stuff, because the Awakening comes staggered after the official release of Awakening, right? Which is just something we did. So for PlayStation, we decided, okay, let's try putting in Ninja because one, it was the most heavily requested class on that survey across all languages.
Yeah,
right?
all regions are the same.
So English, French, German, Japanese, Korean, Ninja was number one, right? Number two, for the most part, was Lon. The third one was like it's debatable.
It's tied.
Right?
It was very close. It was actually almost balanced between 3 and 4.
Yeah.
And then, you know, so yeah, okay, we want to do, let's just say, we want to do more classes. We'd love to. What did Valkyrie score on the survey? A big fat 0 because she wasn't on it.
No, someone was saying Tamer wasn't on it.
She wasn't. Any class that wasn't already ported over for Xbox wasn't in the survey. Because, like, we can release those, but it's difficult to do.
Also, someone just said, but was deleted by a moderator, why don't we have Valkyrie at launch like Xbox?
Xbox still doesn't have Valkyrie, man.
Yeah,
it's good.
Xbox doesn't have Valkyrie.
It's good that we don't have Valkyrie.
So when people are saying things like that, it was Striker in the survey. Yeah, it was. It didn't. It wasn't.
It scored
high, but it wasn't the top 2.
Yeah.
Valk was on it. Was Tamer on it? Someone was saying Tamer wasn't on it, right?
I think some of them were. No, Tamer was. I think Valk was in there too.
Valk was in there.
Valk was in there. Tamer was in there. I can't
PC
remember.
had Valk at launch, but not Xbox. You're absolutely
PC
correct.
had Valk.
So that's the thing with more classes. More classes are coming.
We don't get to choose. My hatred for Valk, which is actually an irrational hatred of Valk.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it. My hatred for Valk doesn't affect how that works, right?
Yeah. But, you know, Shirna, you hate Valk?
I have not made this hidden at all. I legitimately hate Valk. I don't know why I hate Valk. There is no reason for it.
Yeah.
But I just don't like Valk.
And because Shirna hates Valk, I have learned to hate Valk as well.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Valk was on it for sure.
Yeah,
I voted for it. If you voted for Valk, I feel really sorry for you.
That's a waste of a vote.
Yeah, I don't know why you choose like a warrior with red hair. It's stupid.
All right, just damn it. I'll talk about it further.
Let's move. What do you want to talk about?
The otter class, because people keep asking about it. So,
it's a joke.
The otter class is a joke. I accidentally started something. Not accidentally. I intended for this to happen. But the otter class is a joke.
You're a waste of vote. King Zerks. I'm a Zerker, man. Don't hate on me like this. Okay. Yeah. Anyway.
The otter is a joke. I started this in Xbox, and then I carried it over to PlayStation, where I continued my innocent trolling ways as a community manager. And it grew a following to the point where it's just not viable anymore. Like
we may have to actually request it.
Yeah, I'll actually shop this around a bit, but yeah, I agree. I think Valk in the right hands
is powerful. But like those right hands don't exist.
Yeah. So when people are saying like, why do you hate what? Why do you wait? You hate Valk? I'm not sure if he hates it or not. You little troll.
I don't know if we've put it out there enough.
But yeah. So that was more classes. Let's go to the next one.
Alternate genders actually is something.
Okay.
So, okay, it's hard to explain because there's differing philosophies on how it should go, and a lot of people say that Korean MMOs in general gender lock.
Yeah.
The reason is, it's hard to explain why it happens, but people have an idea of this is what I want. This is how we're gonna do it. We want sorceresses to be female.
Yeah.
Cool. Why not have a male one? Well, maybe it doesn't work within the lore.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't work within blah, blah, blah. So there is a thing where we do release the opposite gender, but they're different.
Yeah.
So we have, for example, we have Ranger Archer.
Yes.
We have Musa Mehwa.
Right.
So they're similar up to a point. We could actually, I could have just talked about Witch and Wizard here.
Yeah, Witch and Wizard.
Witch and Wizard as well. So we do that, but for Sorceress, it's kind of difficult.
And there it is. Eternal Curse actually has it on point right there. There's no alternative genders for the most part because in the lore of the game, you're playing a person,
yeah,
not a class, right?
Yeah.
You play the person itself. So in the context of the story, it's for that reason basically.
Yeah. So someone said, why is there no male Dark Knight? Because there is only one group that we know of male elves, which are the archers, the Luthragon. In terms of lore, Sylvia, the god, Sylvia created the sisters of, like, basically the sun and the moon. She created the Vidir and the Ganel, sun and dark, and then that's what she created. The Luthragon, I don't know where they came from. They just kind of sprouted under the tree. Maybe they're a fungus.
Yeah.
I don't know. And, like, you know, there is lore reasons for this, but that doesn't mean to say we can't do something like
make a new one.
Make something that is, for example, male sorceress could be something like a warlock, where it's different enough but similar.
Right.
And like people won't necessarily make that link, so we have to kind of look into it. We have to, like, you know, get in and take a look. I know classes are coming, new classes are coming, you know, they're being developed. We can't talk about them, but, you know, that's the kind of stuff we want. We do want that kind of stuff. Anyway, all right, Necromancer for a male sorceress or just a sorcerer. Exactly. Like, there are ways you could do it, where you can make it so that they are opposites. Okay, anyway.
So, so that's the thing.
I want to answer this one last question. Can you all make a female giant? It makes no sense to have male giants without female. Just saying, show giants love. Okay, the lore reason behind this. I don't know how much of it still stands, but this was addressed. And I know it because I love Zerk. Male giants basically take normal humans and they then make babies. I'm not going to say how they make babies. That's a topic you need to talk to your parents about. But they make babies. If it is female, that baby turns out to be a normal human being. If it's a male, it turns out to be a giant. Now, I don't know if this still applies. Okay, I don't know if this still applies, and if this lore is still valid, because I think I remember hearing about this in like 2015, like very early on. So that's why there are no female giants, is because it's a mutation, not it's a genetic trait, not a different race, if that makes sense. But that may change, that may have changed. Who knows? I'm not there. But yeah, I kind of do like my circle, and I can see that I may have, yeah. Trent is like, I can't believe you said that.
It's just, you're so excited about Zerk. Like, there's a clear disconnect between Zerk and Valk for you.
Hey man, Valk's lore is literally, we went to church, we became the Crusaders, look at us with our pretty red hair. That's Valk's lore. How interesting is that? It's not.
Wait.
Zerk's super interesting.
So if a Zerk and a female human had a child, and it's a woman, it's most likely going to be human. Could they potentially make a Valk?
Nah, Zerks have more class than that in their DNA. All right.
Okay, so, sorry.
More classes, done. Class talk, done.
So then,
whoa. I don't hate gingers, man. I don't hate ginger people.
Let's not put that out there.
I have nothing against ginger people. I have something against Valkyries because they have ginger hair. I don't hate ginger people. It's a class thing. It's a
class thing.
Not all Valkyries are naturally red-haired. It's not like you have red hair, you become a Valkyrie. They dye their hair that silly color of red. Alright? No Valks. People are going on now like, what is this? And do they have souls? Like, throwing the South Park references out there. I love it. Anyway.
Oh, man.
Enough of the classes.
Okay, so more classes came in at just under 50%. PvE content. What content would you like to see expanded?
already talked about
it. More things to make the world feel alive. Similar thing with PvE content. Guild party content and PvP content.
So
has been
guild party content. We talked a little bit about the dungeons. We talked a little bit about how raids would work. The South Park references are going on amazingly well. Okay, so guild party content and PvP content and PvE content. So these three combined, we know that places like Giffen, Mirrormock, and Camisylvia, like these high-end party zones, are popular. People enjoy them. They think it's a good thing. Altar of Blood, more party content.
Yep.
These are things that are coming.
Yeah.
These are things that are we're looking into to continue to build that group content kind of feel, to give more reasons for people to play together. So, if there are any ideas of how we can, continue, or if you have any cool ideas for group content, that's not just like, you don't just write dungeons, you don't just write raids, you write something legitimately interesting, like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to talk about the idea I had, but I'll talk about it. So like a guild mission where you have to transport a wagon from like one end to the other.
Okay.
And you have to go as a guild to defend it, but other guilds can know where you were about 5 minutes ago. So they can, your destination is randomized, but you have to take it.
They get like a point where it says he was here 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, they were here, and people can hunt you down and take over your guild mission and take the rewards for themselves. So that would be like the kind of idea where, like, yes, it probably won't work, and yes, it would need a lot of development, and yes, it may never come, but it's an idea that we can put forward and at least consider, So yeah, someone said protect the payload.
Yeah.
Exactly. Something like that for a PvP party content would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
In my eyes. So yeah, someone said, I play solo, no guild friends for me. I remember reading a long time ago. I don't know if it's worth me saying this. No, I'm not gonna say it. It'll make too many issues. Okay.
So that basically we have for like party content, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We should move on to the next
dungeons and stuff like that. Okay. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of this one.
Again, guys, keep sending your stuff in. We are collecting it. Thank you so much. But GM Costa, our next thing is gonna be priorities. So we asked a question about what kind of updates do you want to see in terms of prioritizing things, right? And 52.52?
Yeah, it was 52.9.
52.9% said game stability, so things like optimization should take priority. New content around 30 something, 20.
Yeah.
And then there's other categories.
Yeah, there were other categories as well, but these two were the main ones.
So the thing with game stability, right? It's always been a focus, but it's become more of a focus with the invisible walls. And for me, and I do want to ask you guys about this, give me a lot of detail about this. Prior to the Valencia update, when I was in Calpheon on a tier 5 horse, and I'm just going through, I hit the most walls, right? And other people were saying it was the route from Altanova, I want to say Altanova to Heidel.
Yeah.
Not the other way around. It's Altanova to Heidel, going into Heidel, that autopath route, they hit a lot of walls, right? When we hear, so when we hear things like invisible wall, fix it, invisible wall, fix it, we have to replicate it on our end, right? And giving us as much detail as possible, giving the CMs as much detail as possible with Linksy and Belterra, and the GMs in Discord, the amount of detail that you give is super helpful for us. And it's easy for us to replicate it. We show it to the devs. This is where we're hitting it the most. Let's try and get this done and go from there, right?
So someone said that SSD fixed all my invisible walls. So, great. That is a solution. It is not the solution.
It's not our solution.
Yeah. Right. So, we talked about this last time.
Yeah.
Is that like, people saying, oh, if you just get an SSD, the game runs amazing. That is not good enough for us, right? We shouldn't have to say go buy.
Yeah.
I mean, SSDs are kind of cheap right now. They're kind of like $50-60.
But we even then,
go spend $50-60 on an SSD to improve.
Yeah.
No, that's not
okay.
enough. It's not okay. So if it works, great. We don't want to push that. We want to make the game run great regardless. So there is a push right now for stability, for optimization, for frames, you know.
So when you guys send those reports, also please do let us know what PlayStation you are using, what device you're using.
That is really important actually, because the difference between a base PS4 and a PS4 Pro is stonkingly huge.
It's very different. So there's that. Anything else?
Someone said cheap question mark. I mean, it's all relative, but you can get a, let's take a look. I'll quickly take a look. Amazon. This is the joy of having computers here.
Yeah.
Amazon SSD. Not promoting one or the other. So you can get a 500 gig SSD Samsung, which I prefer for my SSDs, for $80.
Yep.
And there are other alternatives for that where you can get decent prices for them. So like, we're not advertising
this being said, we're not telling, just like what Shirna said, we're not telling you to go buy an SSD. This is why we're having this Voice Adventures. This is why we're, you're doing the surveys so that we can better collect the reports and give it to the devs and say, here's where it's mostly happening. Apparently, it's where the elephant is in Calpheon, where a lot of people hit the wall. Right?
Yeah. That's because there's, from what I know, there's like there's a line in the map. So although it's an open world, most of the time you will never reach those lines. The idea is that you will never reach the line that will be there. Unfortunately, Calpheon right now is rendering, so there is a wall there.
Yeah.
That's where the invisible walls are. You're supposed to have rendered that part already, but you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the invisible walls come from. So yeah, we're gonna look at it.
Also, when we say like list your device because PS4 Pro and base PS4 are like night and day, we're not saying the PS4 Pro is perfect. Like it just helps us pinpoint the problem.
Yeah.
Right.
Because although it's one version of the game, it runs very differently on two different machines. So when we do the report, we have to look at where we should focus testing.
Whoa. Ghost Dragon, you don't lag at all on a Gen 1 PS4 with an SSD, but there's no invisible walls for you?
It's like invisible walls are not server issues. I think
we've
talked about this before. It's console issues. Screen freezes are a little bit different.
Yeah, screen freezes are different.
That's another thing that's coming up. So that's screen freezes are not invisible walls. You're running, it'll freeze. You come back and you're further ahead. That is something with the rendering again. So like they are looking into it. We reported that a while ago, and they've been investigating ever since. So it's things.
Thank you, Ghost Dragon. Don't just start posting what PlayStation you have.
Yeah, don't flex on people. I have a solid gold PS4 Pro, one of a kind.
I do want to paint one. You remember we had the idea where I was going to paint your controller once?
Yeah.
I really want to do that if we ever get a chance to sleep. That will be great. Yep, invisible walls have been going on for a while. There's another thing where, we've reported this because I've seen it happen on my end. I know users have reported this as well. When you leave a menu,
there's that lag.
There's a lag, right? Something we know about. And
where's the find NPC option? You can't search by name. You have to search by role. Press down on the world map menu, and you can see a list of most of the useful things. Unfortunately, we don't have a find NPC. If you need for a quest, find the quest in your quest menu, click it, go. If it's for a pickup quest, like a random quest, you're just gonna have to find them. Find their general location and then run around. So we know the invisible walls. We're gonna take a look. It's a rendering issue.
It's a rendering issue. Auto pathing does seem to do that.
Yeah.
So actually, I have a question for this, because for me, it's
Oh, hold on. Suprasyn. We are not asking people to put SSDs in. We literally said that's not what we want people to do. We're saying it is a fix, not the fix. We're literally saying we want to improve optimization overall, so that you don't need to do that. If you've done it, great. If that's fixed it for you, cool beans, man. Cool beans.
For the invisible walls, are you guys getting it through auto pathing, or just normal running,
It can happen
or
on both.
both. For me, it's mostly autopathing.
Really?
Yeah. It's legitimately mostly autopathing.
Hmm.
In the city, it's autopathing. In open world, it's when I'm insta accel and sprinting.
Okay. Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Both,
Okay,
autopath.
Yeah. Autopath. Yeah, so most people
On
just say
horse,
moving around.
autopath, hit walls 100%. In the city or open world? For those of you who are saying autopath, is it open world or in the city?
Now we don't know if both is coming up on, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I made a terrible mistake.
You made a terrible mistake. I get it on both. Yeah, so okay, we know it. We know that it happens and we're aware of it. So with this here, we can go and say like generally people are just hitting invisible walls regardless of what they're doing, and that kind of stuff. So we are gonna get the devs. We're talking to them not in a way where we just go fix your game. We're like, hey, we kind of need this.
Yeah.
Can we focus on this? And they're like, okay, we'll take a look and see what we can do. We released an optimization update for Xbox, which only seemed to have worked on the Xbox One X.
Yeah.
That made things way smoother than it was before.
Yeah.
At least in my opinion. And this is another thing. Everyone has their own opinions on the way that the game performs in terms of frames.
Yeah.
In terms of that kind of stuff. So it is difficult when we don't see it.
Yeah.
Because, like, you know, I see the game, I'm like, oh, this is fine. And then someone else is like, nah, it's broken. And we don't experience it because there are differences, even though we're all playing on the same console. There's differences in internet. There's differences in the lifespan of the console, like how old it is and all that kind of stuff. So, like, if we say we don't generally experience it, or as Trent says, I only get it doing certain things, we understand that there is more to life than us.
Yeah. As well as, and we've stated this before when we submit our own reports of what we see. When I play on the PlayStation NA server, I generally play at a time where all of you are asleep due to time zone differences, right? So we take that into consideration. Okay, well, there aren't as many active users right now. Okay, let's get more player feedback. Thus, VOA, right?
Someone said Quest for Bia gloves. I'm not sure which gloves those are. It might be in the recommended Quest tab if it's in. Is that in PlayStation?
Yeah.
Because I never look at my Bia gloves. I never look. Oh, I think I know which ones. Yeah, okay. Bia's Magic Gloves are an incredibly rare drop.
Yeah.
There may be a quest for it in recommended, but I'm not 100% sure.
There is.
This is different.
It's different.
This quest was removed in the renewal.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, it is an incredibly rare drop.
But yeah, so that's what's going on with game stability, and we are collecting all this and sending it forward.
Yeah. So someone says if it's a rendering issue, can we lower the graphics settings? So we've talked about this with the developers. It's something that we've brought up a couple of times.
Yeah.
We call it in-house potato mode.
Yeah.
And the devs have started to pick up on it and started calling it potato mode, which is interesting. You're in a meeting, everyone's speaking Korean, and you're kind of following, and then someone just goes potato mode, blah blah blah, and then you're like, yeah,
They're using that word.
they're using it.
L&Num, yes, this isn't PC, but we are taking that feedback
yeah,
in.
we do take feedback regardless.
So the other thing with potato mode and optimization stuff in general, when we say that we're looking at it, I do want to make it clear that I'm not blaming users. This is, the onus is on us.
Yeah.
But when we say that we are working on it, it's not as easy as one simple patch. It's something that goes on for a period of time.
Yeah.
I can't promise that's going to happen like that, but we are working on it as we keep going.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, all right, it broke here, let's fix it here. Let's do this, right? So it is an ongoing thing.
It's an ongoing fight forever and ever.